So we did it, guys. We hit 3,000 subscribers. I would never expected myself to ever hit this milestone, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. It honestly means a lot. And guys, as you guys see from the title, this is going to be my 3K special, which I'm going to be releasing my render settings, my OBS settings, as well as my Lunar client and my in-game settings. Basically everything you guys have been asking for. Honestly, guys, I'm still shocked I ever hit this milestone, let alone 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, it's just honestly amazing. It's still like kind of processing through my head. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys for the amazing support. So now that we got that out of the way, guys, hopefully you guys can enjoy this video, and yeah, let's just get straight into it. So for the people who didn't know, I actually use Lunar client, which is a mod pack that supplies you with basically all the PvP mods, all the essential mods you basically need for HCF or any game mode you possibly can play. And it's also available in 1.7.10 and 1.8.9. That's basically for the Hypixel players, which it also supplies you with a huge significant FPS boost, which I've noticed like from when I switched from Forge to Lunar client, my FPS significantly went up, which is honestly amazing. Also, you're able to buy a lot of cosmetics as well, so I'd honestly advise you guys to get Lunar client. It is 100% free. So yeah, so to open the GUI, all you guys have to do is press right shift, and it opens this whole thing, which is basically the interface, and it will show you guys all your mods. And yeah, so to start off, all you have to do is press mods, and it opens up a huge list of basically any mod you guys can need. CPS mod, direction HUD, basically all the essentials. So yeah, this is basically my layout, and I'm going to be going through each mod slowly to show you guys how I configure them and what colors I use, which I will be going through each mod one by one, so you guys can pause the video whenever you guys would like to. So yeah, let's get straight into it. And the next thing I want to show you guys is my Lunar client Crosshair, which if you guys want to access the Crosshair menu, all you guys have to do is press right shift, go to the gear, go to Lunar client settings, and scroll all the way down, and you guys should be met with something called Crosshair Settings. And so yeah, so for my custom crosshair, I turned that on obviously, and for the outline is on, and my color is white. You guys can change it to whatever you guys would like to, and the thickness is 1.0, the size is 3.28, and the gap is 1.82. And yeah, so that's basically it for my crosshair settings, and I personally really like it. It really reminds me of like how CSGO crosshairs look like. So yeah, so now that we got all the Minecraft settings out of the way, let's get straight into OBS. So for my recording software, I use OBS Studios because it's the most optimized for Windows computers as well as Mac, so I'd really advise you guys to use OBS. And to access the settings, all you guys have to do is press the settings button, which should be the second one to last. And yeah, so let's get straight into it. So basically general and stream don't really matter unless you want to configure like a theme, because mine is dark theme, which should already come pre-installed with the client. And yeah, so the first tab you guys want to go to is output, and you guys want to toggle output mode as advanced. I can't press it because I'm currently recording this, but yeah, you guys want to toggle to advanced, go to recording. And so yeah, so the rate control I use is CBR, the bitrate I use is 100k kbps, the key interval seconds is 0, the preset is quality, and the profile is high. You guys can also use max quality, but I honestly use quality because I don't have the best of PCs. It already looks really good as quality, so yeah. And for GPU I use 0, and max B frames I use 2. And the next thing you guys want to go to is videos, which the base canvas resolution for me is 1920 by 1080, and the output scale is 1920 by 1080, and the downscale filter is linear. I think that's what it's called, fastest but blurry if scaling. And guys, to basically get the smoothness I get in my videos, or like the motion blur you guys currently see with my cursor, you guys have to select fractional FPS value, go to numerator as 240, denominator as 1. And yeah, so this is basically how you achieve the cool effect of motion blur. If you guys don't have the best of PCs, I would honestly advise you guys to set the numerator to 100 FPS instead of 240. A lot of people record in 360, which personally, from my personal experience, it doesn't really look that well. So I would honestly advise staying away from anything higher than 240. And the next thing you guys want to go to is advanced, and the process priority is high. And yeah, so that's basically it for my OBS settings. So yeah. Also, for the people who are wondering, I actually don't use display capture normally. I actually use game capture because that basically disables frame skipping from happening, which is something really annoying, and it makes the video look really choppy. So yeah, I would honestly advise using game capture as well, and it works for Lunar client. Sometimes it might be a bit buggy, and let's go on to the render settings. So for my editing software, I use Sony Vegas 14, and many of you guys might be wondering why I don't use the updated versions. Is because 14 actually has the best preview window, and it gives you the least latency lag. So yeah, in my opinion, Sony Vegas 14 is the best one. But in terms of rendering time, the newer versions are a lot better. But personally, it doesn't really affect me. So yeah, I just personally use Sony Vegas 14. But you guys can use any version you guys want because most of them are basically the same. But yeah, so for my preview window, if you guys press this gear right here, it opens this project properties tab. And for my width and height, I use 1920 by 1080. The frame rate I use is 120. And many of you guys might be wondering why I don't use 240 in my preview window. It's because I tried it in the past, but auto sets to 120, so yeah. And for my full resolution rendering quality is draft. My motion blur type is Gaussian. De-interlace method is none. Resample mode is smart resample. Adjust source media to better match project is toggled on. And I'm pretty sure you gotta put the resample mode on smart resample to basically get that motion blur effect. If you guys put it on disable resample, you guys actually get like the normal 60 frames kind of type of rendering. So yeah, I would advise turning on smart resample. And to basically go into my render settings, let me quickly drag upon a clip, and all you guys have to do is press File, Render As, and it should open up a huge tab. It might take a second or two to load up. And also I use draft half because my PC isn't really, I don't know, in my opinion it just looks really laggy if I do like anything above that. So for the render as, it opens up a huge tab, and if I quickly untoggle show favorites, all you guys have to do is go down to, it should be called Windows Media Video v11.wmv, and you guys can select any of them to edit, which once you select one to edit, all you guys have to do is press customize template, which if I go back to my render settings, you guys press customize template, and the first tab you guys want to actually go to is video, which the mode I use is CBR, the format I use is Windows Media Video 9. The image size is custom because I use 2560 by 1440 as the rendering resolution. And you guys might be wondering why, even though I record in 1920 by 1080, is because for some reason, whenever you upload a video on YouTube, it turns the quality like way lower than it's supposed to be. So I would honestly advise rendering in 1440p if you guys have the PC to do so. And the frame rate I use is 60 FPS, and the pixel aspect ratio is 1 square. Second per keyframe is 5. And I toggled on override default compression buffer, and it should be on 4. And I toggled to the sharpest. You guys can do whatever you guys want, but honestly I've got the best results with sharpest. And for bitrate I use 80M, and I toggle on internet LAN. And for index summary, there's nothing here. Project, the video rendering quality is best. And yeah, so that's basically it for my render settings. So yeah. So guys, this is going to be it for my 3K special. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, make sure to hit that like button because it does help me out, and it also makes the video go in other people's recommendeds for the people who actually need my render settings and stuff like that. So yeah, other than that guys, if you guys aren't subscribed already, make sure to do so because we are currently on the way to 4K, and the support you guys have been giving me recently has been honestly amazing, so I can't thank you guys enough for that. And yeah, so hopefully you guys can have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.